If you step on a rock, cut your finger, or touch something hot, you most likely recoil in pain. The ability to feel pain is actually helpful because it warns us of danger and lets us know when we are being hurt. Some people actually can't feel pain at all. Whether children or adults, mind over matter, or the result of a rare genetic defect, these people can endure levels of pain that would leave the rest of us balled up on the floor. Vicky and Paul Waters. It sounds strange, but some people are actually born with the inability to feel pain. Siblings Vicky and Paul Waters were born with a condition known as congenital insensitivity to pain, or CIP. This means that while their brain can feel some things like temperature or pressure, it cannot register pain. Shockingly, the two used this to their advantage as kids. Whenever they didn't get their way, they'd throw a tantrum and deliberately bend their fingers until the bone snapped, feeling nothing the whole time. Xiao Qian. We're thinking this guy might not be human. After all, when he was walking home one day in Guangyang City, China, Xiao Qian was involved in a freakish accident that would have caused significant pain to others. Out of nowhere, a knife fell from an apartment 12 stories above and buried itself right into Qian's head. Whereas most of us would start screaming and faint, he remained calm and started to walk home to get an ambulance. Not feeling any pain, Qian had the knife removed and suffered no side effects from this bizarre accident. Ashlyn Blocker. Ashlyn Blocker is just like any other teen at first glance. She plays musical instruments, watches TV, goes to school, nothing unusual about any of that. However, it's when the South Georgia teen does stuff like reach into a boiling pot of water without the slightest reaction that you know something is different. In fact, she's been swarmed by fire ants, burned the skin off her hand on a hot muffler, and even broke her ankle without feeling a thing. Stephen and Chris Pete. Little kids always pretend they have superpowers. Brothers Stephen and Chris Pete had the closest thing to it. Suffering from congenital analgesia, the two could endure all sorts of injuries without ever even knowing it. For instance, Stephen often injured himself and even broke bones on numerous occasions. Often the first notification that he had anything wrong was when an adult would point out a broken bone or blood. It got so bad at one point, Child Protective Services stepped in because they thought his parents were abusing him. The constant injuries have taken their toll, however. Stephen's leg has suffered so many injuries over the years, it may need to be amputated, and his brother Chris took his own life when he couldn't deal with living without pain. Ben Whitaker. Imagine watching your child rip a tooth from their mouth without a second thought, or grimace of pain. Imagine seeing them break their foot only to run off and play while you wait for the doctors to examine them. The parents of Ben Whitaker know what this is like. You see, Ben is one of those few dozen people in the world diagnosed with congenital indifference to pain. Like others in this video suffering from rare disorders, he simply doesn't feel pain. There is no cure for the condition, so Ben's parents need to be extra vigilant for any injuries their son has picked up. Tim Cridland. This New York native doesn't have any medical disorders related to pain. Nope, he just is able to somehow put mind over matter and disregard things that would make any of us scream or cry. He can stab bicycle spokes through his face or skewer his skin, all without the slightest indication of discomfort. How is that possible? Cridland admits a fascination with the whole mind over matter thing and spent years practicing and perfecting his art. In addition to blocking out pain, he can even reportedly prevent himself from bleeding while being punctured in various ways. Isaac Brown. Another sufferer of the rare condition CIP, Isaac Brown often suffers injuries without feeling a thing. Sure, this might sound like a superpower at first, but his parents have had to teach him to watch out for injuries, especially ones which could cause long-term health problems. He's burned and sliced open his hands without knowing it, and even giggled when his dad stepped on his foot. It all ends up being a curse in the end because Brown often can't play with other kids in certain activities, given his body can't tell him when he's in trouble. Olivia Farnsworth. Is Supergirl real? In addition to feeling no hunger or fatigue, Olivia Farnsworth also feels no pain. This rare condition is reportedly brought on by a chromosome disorder, and doctors think Olivia might be the only one to exhibit it. Her parents definitely knew something was up when she fell and bit through her bottom lip. While doctors touched and stitched up the wound, Olivia didn't even react. In fact, she may just have a little Superman in her. You see, one day Olivia was struck by a car and dragged down the street. Her parents, fearing the worst, ran to the scene in a panic. They were greeted by the little girl who, other than some scrapes, got up and walked away as if nothing had happened. Well, folks, what do you think of these real-life superheroes? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're here, why not head over to The Riches to see what else we have for you? And please, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, and bye-bye.